Creatrix Circle. We are finally back after a little break, well needed break. And today I wanted to talk about the fastest, the hack to start manifesting what you want, your desires at high speed. I've got a lot of questions around the subconscious mind because that's the work that I do. I help women repattern and reprogram their unconscious. And yeah, a lot of people were curious on how that works, what it actually is. And I wanted to talk about that today because there's a lot of people that are not aware of the true workings of manifestation. And I see a lot of people getting stuck in the superficial things and methods when it comes to manifestation that we see online. And yeah, I will start there. I really believe that manifestation has become superficial, and I know it's maybe controversial opinion. Hi for the people joining. Let me know in the chat where you're joining from. Yeah, as I was saying, I really believe that manifestation has become superficial as it has become mainstream and more available to more people, which the sense of becoming mainstream is a good thing because we all get to understand, know what manifestation is, and we get to have access to that knowledge and that wisdom to completely change our lives. That's how I did it. I did it 3 years ago, a little bit more than 3 years ago. I had just got out of a toxic relationship. I had given all my money to my ex. I was back in my childhood bedroom. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was completely lost. My life completely shattered after that breakup, and that is when manifestation became part of my life and spirituality became part of my life full on. It was something that I was always interested in and something that was always part of my life, but it was not really my life. I was using manifestation, but I was not in tune with manifestation. And that is what I want to talk about today. So, to get out of the way, so we get to go deeper into what is the power of your unconscious mind and why it's so important when we talk about manifestation, or why it's so important to consider and understand the powers of your unconscious mind when you want to manifest your desires, whether it is your dream partner, whether it is more money, whether it is health or your physical shape, you want to get in better shape, you want to lose weight, whatever it is. We must understand the power of your unconscious mind so that you actually manifest what you want. Because without that, you will be in a spinning wheel and always coming back to square one, trying everything and anything, and still feeling like you can't get where you want to be. So, manifestation, we really have to understand. I've talked about this many times, so I'll go faster this time, and you can go watch other lives where I talk about this in depth. Manifestation is the process of life. How we experience this reality, how we experience our life, is the result of all the divine laws that are working together to create this reality. And manifestation is the result of those laws. It's not really something that you do because it's always happening. So when we talk about manifesting your dream life, manifesting your dream partner, your soulmate, manifesting abundance, financial freedom, all of those things that we've seen again and again on social media and on YouTube and everywhere, people manifesting those things. When we talk about that, manifesting this or that, please Let go of the habit or the assumption that you have to do something. Yes, you will have to change your habits. Yes, you will have to do things you maybe have not done before, like a practice, like a journaling prompt, like visualization. Yes, there are strategies behind that, but that is not what is going to help you manifest what you want, because manifestation is already happening, always happening. That means that the reality you're in right now, the reality you're living, the result that you have are the results of manifestation. You have manifested all of that. And of course, the first thing is, yes, but I don't want it. I don't like that. So people often go into victim mode because they feel the victim of their circumstances, especially if they don't like their life right now. Because your ego will feel threatened when we realize what's actually happening. And of course, it's normal to feel threatened. It's normal to feel victim if you don't know how to get out of there. But we have to really, really understand that as long as you cave into that feeling of helplessness, of desperation, of victimhood, then you will not be able to see beyond your present reality, your current struggles. Your ego will have to die for you to reclaim your true power. It's inevitable. You will have to shed everything that you think you are right now in order to manifest what you want. Because if we're honest here, everything that you've done up until now has gotten you the results you have right now. And I know that deep in your soul, deep in your heart, you know that you're meant for so much more. I know because I don't believe in coincidences. And if you're here right now, it's because you know you are meant for so much more, and you know you want more, and you know that you're not gonna settle for that, even though it might feel difficult right now, even though you don't know how you will up level your life. That's all right, because the most important thing is to acknowledge and be honest with yourself with the fact that you want more out of life. So once you acknowledge that feeling of like, you know what, I'm not content where I am right now, I'm not pleased where I am right now, I don't like what I'm doing in my life, or I don't like what I'm experiencing in my reality, whether it is in relationships, in your bank account, whether it is what you do as a living, whatever it is. Any type of discomfort, of contraction, of pain you feel in your life, whatever the aspect of your life you're feeling that, is a signal for you to let you know that you're out of alignment with your truth, with your power. The separation that you feel between you and your dreams is not a fact, is not a sign that that is your life and that you cannot do the things you want to do. That pain, that resistance is not here to tell you, you know what, that is you, you're not worthy of your dreams, you cannot make them happen. That is the ego that will use a story to keep you where you are because it is your comfort zone. But behind and beyond all of that is a desire to get more, to experience more, to manifest what you actually want. And so that's why I say we must see beyond the stories of the ego to finally break free from the ego. Because as long as we keep that story playing and we keep believing it, then we will only believe that and only see that in our reality. And that is the power of the unconscious, is that your unconscious mind is the part of you that has been with you all of this time, since you were born up to here, and that registered everything that you've seen, learned, experienced in your life, and created models and programs for you to not lose energy. That means that everything that you're doing right now and all the results that you have in your life is directed by your unconscious mind. And that's why most people feel threatened when they realize that the law of attraction is not something that you do, it's something that is always happening, meaning that you're doing it consciously or unconsciously, and meaning that you're either manifesting what you want or what you do not want. But either results are the manifestation of the divine laws orchestrating this reality. So in that sense, your ego can feel threatened of being like, yes, but if I created the things I don't like, it means what? It means that I'm less than, that I'm not enough. We go into that victim mode. The ego will go into the victim mode, but your soul, on the other hand, will be, wait, what? If I created all of this without even paying attention, without even knowing that I was creating this, meaning that I was manifesting without even knowing, well, that means that the moment I start playing the game and paying more attention that I've had in the past, that means that I get to create what I actually want. Because if I created all of this without even knowing that I was creating things, then that means the moment I decide what I want to create, it's going to become reality. And that is the perspective and the reframe I want you to keep with you from this today on. If you heard that, I'm sure I could go and close this live, and this is all you needed to hear today. Drop in the chat if you needed to hear this today to remember the actual power that you have. Hi, Iced Coffee. So happy to see you again. And maybe you can drop your name, because I'm sure your name is not Iced Coffee. So yeah, I'm sure that's all you needed to hear today, to realize that, yeah, you didn't know that you were creating all of that, even though it may feel painful to realize that unconsciously you were creating the reality that you're experiencing, especially if you don't like the result that you have. But for me, in 2020, when I realized that I was in that toxic relationship, and I had been in toxic relationships, not because of my partners, but because I was the one choosing the partners I wanted to be with. There was only one common denominator in both relationships that I had that were toxic, and it was me. And so as much as it can feel threatening to the ego and feel less of, feel not good enough, feel not worthy, on the other hand, you can realize the responsibility and the power that you actually have. And that is how manifestation became my life-changing journey, because I started actually paying attention to my power than feeling victim to my circumstances. Because I stopped feeling like I stopped feeling like I couldn't do anything to change what I was experiencing, and started stepping into my main character energy, into my higher self, and started seeing life from a total different perspective, which allowed me to start aligning with what I actually wanted and let go of the things I didn't want anymore. And so to come back to your unconscious mind, as I said, your unconscious mind is responsible for 95% of your reality right now, because it's responsible for all the patterns, all the automatic response that are keeping you alive right now, that are creating your life right now. From brushing your teeth to opening a door to walking to eating, digesting your food, your heart beating, all of that is happening without the need of conscious awareness. I'm sure every time you open a door, you're not thinking about how you can open a door, what you need to know to open a door, how much pressure you need to do, what movement you need to do to open. It's all happening naturally, unconsciously, without the need of you understanding how or why. It's just happening. You decide to open a door and you open it, right? So nice to meet you too. I'm happy that you were guided here. I'm sure it's not a coincidence. As I said in the beginning, I don't believe in coincidences. So if you're here, I know you needed to hear that today. And I'm excited for you to join the Divine Creatrix community. For those who are here for the first time, it's all about creating your dream life with the most ease possible and learning how to attract what you want all the time, to create magic. This is this space here, and we gather every Monday at 11 a.m. EST. So we talk all about things, manifestation, soul alignment, healing, all of those good things to create your most aligned life. So yeah, when you realize that your unconscious mind is responsible for 95% of everything that you want and everything that you're experiencing right now, you stop using your conscious mind, which is only 5%, to try to change your reality. How can you change your reality with 5% when the program that is creating your reality is responsible for 95% of your reality? That's why most people don't get the results they have. They use their conscious mind to change the 95%. They're like, wait a minute, I don't like this, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna act like this, and then I'm gonna create this. And a perfect example is when I was trying to lose weight back in 2015. I had gained 40 pounds and I'd spent like 6 years trying to lose weight and didn't have any results. I was always coming back to square one because I was trying to do that with my conscious mind. I was like, well, I want to lose weight, so I have to change my diet. So I'm not gonna eat bread anymore. I'm not gonna eat carbs anymore. I'm gonna go and do 1 hour of cardio every day. I'm gonna do this and that and that. And every time I would feel so much resistance, I wouldn't feel good. I would go all in, be fully intense for a few weeks, and then I would be over it because it was too intense and go back into my old habits. And I did that for 6 years until I realized that what was pushing all the habits that were keeping me in overweight, that were keeping me in the habits that were keeping me overweight, had nothing to do with doing something, but it had all to do with the programs that were pushing the behaviors and the stories that were keeping me overweight. Can you feel the difference? It's not what I was doing. It was the program that was pushing what I was doing that was keeping me in that box, in that resistance. And the moment I realized that and I changed the program, I changed my unconscious programs, is when everything changed. And in 1 year, I lost 35 pounds, I think. And I literally manifested my dream body when I had spent 6 years trying to do the same thing with no result. And luckily, because I learned that through my fitness transformation, the moment I was out of my toxic relationship and feeling lost and stuck and not knowing what to do or how I could change my reality, I remembered, wait a minute, it's the same thing here. I keep attracting toxic partners. I keep being in toxic relationships that completely shatter my life, that completely push me down. So there's something more than just hoping to meet a better partner next time. There's something more to it. It's not about going on apps and then doing this and that. No, it's not about that. It's about going deeper and acknowledging what is the program, what is the story, what is the root cause of me attracting and choosing, most importantly. You will attract all type of people in your life, but who are you choosing? And who you're choosing is what you feel most comfortable with in your relationship blueprint, in your fitness blueprint, in your health blueprint, in your mental blueprint. We have programs for everything that we do in life and all aspects of our life. And we will always choose the things that fit that blueprint because your unconscious mind doesn't want to lose energy. It will just do its thing automatically, unconsciously, and draw you to the people, the places, and the circumstances that will reaffirm that blueprint. That's why it's called manifestation, like attracts like. So if your unconscious blueprint in finances is of scarcity, is of lack, then you will reaffirm that all the time. If your blueprint in relationship is of chaos, desperation, rejection, then you will reaffirm that all the time in your relationships. And if your general blueprint for life is of fear, restriction, confusion, doubt, then you will reaffirm that in your life in general too. That's why this work is so important, because we stop looking desperately for magic pills and miracle solutions, and we start being at the cause of our life. We start stepping into the main character energy, where you get to decide the story, write the story, direct the story, produce the story, and create the story. You're no longer the effect of something that you don't know what it is, the effect of your circumstances. You're at the cause of your life. And that's why I call this the Divine Creatrix Circle, is because that is all about that. Reminding yourself and remembering that you are the divine creatrix of your life. You are creating all of it, and you get to decide what you want to create. And it starts with looking at yourself with radical honesty and with unconditional love, and understanding the patterns, the experiences of the past that shaped you into who you are today and what you're creating. And if you don't like what you're creating, then you get to let go of all of those things that only exist in the past. You don't have to live a life of pain and suffering because something happened in the past. It's in the past. The good thing about the past is that it's in the past. And so we get to choose what we want to create today, which will become tomorrow. So let me know in the chat if that is resonating with you, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, because this is completely life-changing. And so some people wanted me to talk about the unconscious mind because they didn't really understand what was happening or why I was putting so much talking about the unconscious so much in the things that I do, in the work that I do, and how I support other people. And that's why hypnosis is the most magical tool ever discovered for us human beings, because with hypnosis you get to go directly into your unconscious mind and change the programs, the beliefs that are shaping your reality right now. The unconscious mind can only be repatterned in two ways. One, through repetition. That's why we say that a habit is created in 21 days, is because the more you do something, the more your unconscious mind registers that thing and makes it an automatic pattern, so that you don't have to think about doing that anymore. Just like riding a bike. At first, it's complicated. You fall down, you don't understand, you don't know how to brake, how to move things, how fast you can do pedal and all of those things. And one day you're on your bike thinking about something else. You're not even there. You're thinking about things, listening to music, and you're riding a bike without having to think about how to ride a bike. So that's what your unconscious mind does. And so that's the first thing, through repetition. And when it comes to manifestation and energy, it takes much more dedication and much more integrity and accountability and commitment, because you have to be fully aware of yourself, be aware of your reactions, emotional reaction, your triggers, and always come back to the truth, to your power, to do that in repetition all the time. And it is the conscious work of elevating your reality to be in the driver's seat of your reality. That means being conscious of who you are, your patterns, your triggers, your responses, all of that. And what is really helpful is the second way to reprogram and repattern your unconscious mind is to go directly into the program. And that can be done with hypnosis, but also meditation through practice. I always say to people, you can do self-hypnosis and you can use meditation to reprogram your mind. But there's a little but. It will take much more energy because your ego will always try to defend itself, will always try to stay alive. And your ego is doing that to keep you safe in what you know, keep you in your comfort zone. So sometimes when you're doing it by yourself, the program that is trying to protect you will protect itself to protect you. And so when you're trying to change it or dissolve it, there can be resistance, because the whole point of that program is to protect you. And so when you're trying to shatter it and change it, your unconscious mind will be, wait a minute, what are you doing? I did that for protection. I did that to help you. So what are you doing? But when you're guided and supported by someone else, leading you into your unconscious mind, it's much easier for the other people that is guiding you, the other person that is guiding you, to actually see what's happening and guide you through the resistance and help your unconscious mind drop the guard, so that you actually can change things forever, literally forever. What is your personal step to manifest things, for example, about a brand new Range Rover? That's a good question. So, as I told you, all about manifesting and attracting what you want. It's all about who you are being, because who you are being is the automatic patterns are happening right now. The stories, the emotions, all of that, a turmoil, a blend, a cocktail of all the things that are happening unconsciously in this moment. And that is pushing you to act a certain way, to think a certain way, and to feel a certain way. So the best way to become a match to a brand new Range Rover is to imagine yourself already having it. So instead of being like, what do I have to do to manifest a Range Rover? It's like, who do I have to be to have a Range Rover? So let's say you have manifested your Range Rover for a while now. You have it, you're driving it, you're in it. How will you feel once you have that? Like, what would you see? What would you hear? What would you feel if you already have achieved that? And so it's all about giving direction to your unconscious mind to know where you're heading. And your unconscious mind is not rational. It's not rational at all. So you have to give it direction through emotion, through energy, and with specificity. You want to be specific of what is going to change once you have that Range Rover. Once you are having that in your life, what does it mean for you as a person in your life? What does that mean to drive a new brand Range Rover? And often it comes back to how you are going to feel. So that is the most important thing. You don't want to manifest a Range Rover to have a Range Rover. That's what you think consciously. But you are manifesting a Range Rover to feel the way you are going to feel if you have that. That is really important to understand. So I hope this helps. And I highly recommend taking time to answer those questions, because if you already having that Range Rover, I'm sure that you won't worry or that you won't overthink how you're going to have that Range Rover. If you already have it, you're already in full trust, in full excitement, in full abundance of having that. And that's, once you understand your unconscious mind, is when you start becoming aware of the things that are in the way of you manifesting your desires. Because if you put yourself in the future, in the version of you who already has those things, you will act, you will feel, and you will think really differently. So if you have all of this, again, how would you think? How would you feel? And how would you act if you already had those things? And then look at your day-to-day right now. How do you feel? How do you act? And how do you think about that? And often you will see a dissonance, a misalignment between the two. Thank you. So why do I want it, and how would I feel if I get a Range Rover? Yes. If you already had achieved that, what would you see in your reality if you had your Range Rover? What would you hear? What would you tell yourself? How would you feel? And how would you act on your day-to-day if you had that Range Rover? How different as a person would you be than who you are being right now? That is the cheat sheet. So as I was saying, if you connect to all of those things, you will answer. And then you look at yourself with radical honesty and love and compassion. If you look at yourself today, how you're thinking, how you're acting, how you're feeling, there's a chance there's a dissonance between the two. Maybe you're worrying, maybe you're always stressed, maybe you're always like wondering how. And here, once you have it, you're in full trust, you're in excitement, you enjoy, you're feeling abundant because you're driving your dream car and you're feeling this way. But in your day-to-day, since you don't have it, you feel in scarcity, you feel in lack, you don't feel good enough, all of those things. And so it's not the same thing. So the whole point is to bring alignment to who you are being right now so that you are matched to that reality. And that's why it's so important to be conscious of the stories you're telling yourself, how your ego is keeping you in your comfort zone. And all of that, most of the time, is an unconscious programming that you've been conditioned to since you were a kid. You saw your parents live their life a certain way, and so you made unconscious programs to match that, because that are the people that show you the way in life. So yeah, always think about the positive way to achieve it. Can balance the frequency in your mind, then every good thing will come true. Is this the meaning? Haha. Yes, pretty much. Is training your mind to always look for the best outcome instead of the worst case scenario. Because if you're always tuning into the best case scenario, you're training your unconscious mind to always tune in the best case scenario. And so you're becoming a match to the best case scenario. Will this life be saved? I love to rewatch what you say and as it makes sense to me. Yes, it will be available in my YouTube page because I see you're coming from YouTube. It will be in the section of the live streams, the lives. But also, if you're new here, you can join the Divine Creatrix group community. Is on Facebook, and there we have the lives. You can ask your questions, and there's other people there. So it's like all about like having a community that are doing the same thing as you, soul aligned, like-minded souls that want the same things as you want, and so it's a party. So if you want to join, you can find the link after I posted this. After I posted this live, once it's ended, you will find the links underneath, or you can find the links in all my other past lives as well. I highly recommend, if you like this one, to go watch my past lives, because there's a lot of crunchy details about manifestation, and you will want to be in the next ones too, because that's what we do here. We talk about how we can manifest our dreams easily. So yeah, I hope that was insightful for you and that you actually understand the importance of becoming aware of the unconscious patterns that are happening without your conscious awareness, and start questioning yourself more than going straight into, I need to find a miracle solution to fix my reality. And instead going to your responsibility as a divine creatrix, take your responsibility and be like, wait a minute, if I don't like what I'm seeing right now, what is causing me to tolerate this reality? What is causing the fact that I continue to act this way, to feel this way, to think this? What are the stories that keep me in this reality? And once you realize that, you will pinpoint the beliefs, the programs, the emotions that are running unconsciously that keep you attracting those things. And as I said, there's much more powerful ways than only trying to do things desperately. You can literally go deeply into the program and change it. And that's what I do. That's what I help people do. I help women reprogram their unconscious program so that they can manifest the dream of their lives. So if ever you need support, you can DM me on Instagram here. You can see here my handle, or comment on a live, and we can get in touch and talk about how I can support you if you're ready to up-level your life and manifest things that you've dreamed of for a long time. Great. So thank you for being here. I appreciate the questions, and I'm so happy that you were led here for the new people that came in. And as I said, you can tune into the Facebook community if you want to ask questions and go deeper into any of those lives. And I'll see you next week at 11 a.m.